On Friday was Bronny James putting his name in the NBA draft while also entering the college transfer portal. Bronny has until June 16th to withdraw his name from the draft, yet ESPN reported that, quote-unquote, most NBA teams expect Bronny to return to school for another year. So, Rachel, what's your educated guess on what Bronny will do?
Well, look, it depends on what LeBron James, Bronny James, and Savannah James want. Because if they want him to play in the NBA and LeBron wants him to play a year with him and Bronny wants that, and by the way, that's okay if that's what they want, because that would be very special, and that would mean more than a lot of other of the accomplishments that either of these guys would do in basketball, especially Bronny. Then he will play in the NBA on the Lakers next year, because Jeannie Buss has a history of treating her star players like stars, doing what they want. And by the way, it wouldn't be like plucking some guy off the street. Bronny James has gotten evaluated by scouts as a potential late second rounder, someone you might put on a two-way contract. He's got high basketball IQ. He's willing to be an on-ball defender. There are things about him. He's got more of an NBA body than you would expect, his game being suited to the college game. And by the way, his heart stopped this year. So when you look at the numbers and you look at, gee, this is an NBA player, when you look at those numbers, you got to take that into account. So I think if LeBron went to the Lakers and said, I would like you to draft him, I would like to play with him, I absolutely think that in the second round they would do that.
So you're leaning that direction?
Well, I'm saying if that's what they want. But the indication has been that while LeBron has wanted that for a long time, we have heard a real U-turn of him saying, pushing that, right? He has now been started to say, well, it's about what Bronny wants, right? If Bronny wants to do that. And I don't know if Bronny wants to walk into the NBA on his father's coattails like that. There is a question of, are they just doing their due diligence here, which is smart, by the way, for the NBA, talking to teams, seeing whether he could have a shot and where and to play how much. And then I also think they're exploring the college option. I wouldn't be surprised to see him at Duquesne. I wouldn't be surprised to see him at Oregon. That Nike money is right there for him. And by the way, they have a hole that they can fill with his playing time. I think that he would like to get out there and play more college ball, and that would be best for him. But LeBron James has said over and over and over again recently, I'm not going to be here much longer. I think he is a year, maybe two more at best. And if he wants to play with his son, that is what we will see next season.
Think about what you just said, though, Rachel. You said he doesn't want to come into the NBA on his dad's coattail, right? Think about that, what you said. It's too late. It's too late. Doesn't matter when he goes in the league. He can go in the league 5 years from now. It's going to be on his father's coattail. And the reason I say that, think about it. You didn't even calculate this in what you just said. You said Duquesne. The reason you say Duquesne is because of the relationship, right? The reason you say Nike is because of the relationship at Oregon and LBJ. And you didn't even do that to try to shade him or anything like that. You just did it because the reality of it is, no matter what he does, where he goes, he's going to always be linked to his father because his last name is James. Now, I said before he should go back to college to develop his skills. A lot of skills need to be developed, not just scoring, understanding how to play defense on some dynamic offensive players that you're going to have to guard. You're going to have to guard guys like Ant-Man. This ain't the same as some dude from UCLA.
But you're not going to guard Ant-Man at Duquesne.
No, but you can still work on your skills, though, Skip. It's still things that you got to work on because he's not pro basketball quite ready yet. Yeah, he can go on a two-way contract. He can be like Pippen Jr. and KJ Martin and Bol Bol. I'm just bringing those names up because their fathers played in the NBA, and then they all got drafted later on in their careers. Later on in the draft, and eventually started to develop on and get some playing times on teams that allowed them to develop their skills. That can very well happen with him. The problem with the Lakers situation is the Lakers trying to win right now. They don't have time to keep messing around with it. LeBron's getting a little bit older, right? He's just getting a little bit older. How much time does he have? 3 years left to be the same LeBron James? Yeah, we look at him and say, well, he could play another 5 years, no question about it. But at the level that LeBron James is at, not a guy who's just hanging around just because. And his son wants to play with him, like Rachel says, fine, I'm okay with that. Hell, use it to your advantage. If you retire tomorrow and buy the Las Vegas team and they start playing in the building in 2027, draft your son. I don't care. He's going to get the opportunity. Everybody else gets the opportunity to do what they want to with their kids. But I think college is best served for him. It just really is one more year because of his situation he went through in the summertime. He needs time to develop his skills. There's no rush. My dad is a billionaire. What the hell I need to be rushing to the NBA for? I'm good. I'm making money on my own.
You don't need Oregon's NIL money, right?
No, absolutely not.
You might need Oregon's playing time, though.
You might.
You need Oregon's playing time.
Okay, so just to reiterate, Bronny missed the first 8 games because of that heart condition, and then, God bless him, I'm knocking on wood for him, he came back and looked just fine after that. But he didn't produce just fine because your team at USC was supposed to be the team. In fact, I fully expected we'd be watching them this weekend in the Final Four with Isaiah Collier and Bronny, and it just did not happen, and your coach is now at SMU because of all of the above. They go 15-18, and Bronny manages to average 5 points and 3 rebounds and 2 assists. And he manages to shoot 36% from the floor, which is not very good. And even worse, he shoots 27% from 3 this year. And it's even worse because the kid I saw in the McDonald's game could flat out shoot the catch-and-shoot threes. I thought he had a better stroke than his father has ever had, even though his father's having a career year this year, 42% from 3. Can't take anything away from that. But I thought Bronny could be a very credible three-point shooter at the next level. And so here we sit. And I'm going to triple down on what I believe. I believe he will be a Laker next year playing alongside his father because I think he was born to complement his father's game. He is a man body of an on-ball defender in college basketball. That's what I saw this year when I watched USC. And I think that will translate and transfer to the next level. His IQ is high, but he doesn't have point guard mentality. He's more of a two-guard role player, complementary player who just knows how to facilitate, to pass the ball the right place at the right time. He's an Austin Reeves kind of player. The problem is I watched Austin Reeves for all 4 years in college because he spent 2 at Wichita State and then 2 more at Oklahoma, and he couldn't shoot the 3. I don't know what got into him. At the moment, he can't shoot it as we speak, but I think he'll come out of that. But the point is, LeBron loves Austin Reeves because Austin Reeves knows how to play basketball, and LeBron can trust that. And when they're vibing off each other, it's fun to watch because it's beautiful basketball. Bronny could do that with his father, and I don't think he'd be riding coattails. I don't think he will detract from your winning basketball games. He'll be a role player who'll play his 15 minutes a game, and it'll be fun to watch because it'll work.
Skip, when he goes into the NBA, people are going to say he's only in the NBA.
That's fine. But you know what? This kid's got that.
That's just what they're going to do.
This kid is tough. This kid is strong.
All of the above. There's no question about it. But that's just how the world thinks.
Yeah, I got it.
Regardless, right? Yeah. He didn't put up big numbers at USC with all of the hype going in. People don't look at him missing the summer in the heart situation. They just know that he's been on the floor and his numbers don't look good.
He only started 6 games for USC. Go ahead.
You also have to remember what the NBA teams spend second-round picks on. Second-round picks right now, people throw them into trades and throw them around like they're singles at a strip club.
I don't even think,
people,
Rachel, I don't think you need to spend a second-round pick. I think you just sign him. He's just a free agent because Clutch Sports will make it clear he's going to be a Laker. Don't you dare draft him in the second round because we ain't coming.
Well, they could pull that for sure.
Yeah.
They can pull that.
They have to, I mean, obviously, this is a decision. They need to decide, sit down as a family and say, are we going to force everyone's hand with this? And by the way, if they do, that's fine. Again, I think that's fine.
Okay. Where I would pity,
they have to decide to do it.
Where I would pity this young man is if he did go to Duquesne, let's just say. People would expect him to score 30 a game. I'm not sure that's his skill set, even if he develops his skill set. I don't know that he was born to score 30 a game. I think he was more made to play pro basketball than college basketball.
That may be true.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of college basketball players not fare well in college and go to pros and become all-stars. Just check box Westbrook.
Westbrook. I know.
MVP?
I couldn't see Westbrook at all at UCLA. I would watch those teams and I didn't notice him. What? Sam Presti did. Wow. All right. We got to talk about this because Diana Taurasi has some harsh words for Caitlin Clark. Are they true words? We debate next.